Hey everyone, it is time to look at electron configuration. You did a good job in class today with our orbital diagrams, and so we're going to see how we move from what we did today with our boxes and arrows into electron configuration. So, first of all, orbital diagrams, like we did in class today, show a picture representation of the location of the electrons. Because what we were doing is drawing boxes that represented our orbitals, and inside there we were putting arrows that represented our electrons. Well, now it's going to be a little bit different with electron configuration, because what we're doing now is we are going to drop the pictures and just show our sublevels and our superscripts. So it's a change where we're going to take the information that we had in our orbital diagrams and turn it into our regular notation, sublevels, and subscripts. So we're going to do a couple of examples. First one we're going to start with is magnesium. And just like when we were doing orbital diagrams, first thing we need to do is figure out how many electrons we have. So we know magnesium is number 12. So when that atomic number is number 12, both the protons and the electrons are going to be 12. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do the orbital diagram just so we can get that on paper and see how we move from one to the other. So, just like in class today, 1s, we're going to fill and keep going. 2s, we're also going to fill. And we've only used up 4, so we need to get going past that one. Now after 2s comes 2p. And watch how I fill these in here again. We go up, up, up before we go back down and double up. Okay? So now all together I have got 6, 8, 10. Need to go one more, which is going to bring me to 3s. There's my 11th and my 12th, okay? Now, when we were doing orbital diagrams, we learned that we need to count our arrows, make sure that it's the same number as our electrons. We've done that. We know our orbital diagram is right. All right, now here's what we're going to do to turn this from an orbital diagram into an electron configuration. We're going to take our sublevel, so the 1s, and then we're going to use a superscript or an exponent to show how many electrons reside in that sublevel. So for 1s, I've got 2 arrows up here in my box, so I'm going to put a 2. Okay, then we keep going. So I've got 2s, and I've got 2 in there. 2p, it's all filled, so all 6. And then 3s has 2 in there. So that's how we write it. You'll see we have no pictures, just our big numbers, which indicate the energy level, our sublevel letter, and then our superscript or exponent is the number of electrons in that sublevel. Now the way we read this is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2. That's how you read the electron configuration, okay? Now, the way that you can check to see that you did it right, because we're going to have a way to check ourselves, just like we did with the orbital diagrams, what we're going to do here is that we want to look at all of our exponents, add them together, and make sure that they equal the total number of electrons we're supposed to have, which it does in this case. So we know that we did that part right, okay? All right, let's do another one. I want you to get a piece of paper out and a pencil and be ready to do this one with me. So we're going to do chlorine. So I want you to, first of all, I want you to pause the video right here and see if you can figure out how many electrons we need and draw out the orbital diagram for chlorine. Okay, so pause and do that now. All right, well, let's see how you did. Chlorine is number 17. So that means 1s has both arrows. 2s has both arrows. 2p is going to have, oops, you got to fill one at a time first. I almost started doing it wrong. Got all 6 in there. After 2p, we go to 3s, fill that, and I'm just going to stop and count here. I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Okay, so I want to keep that in mind. I don't want to go too far. So for 3p, so far I've got 12. There's number 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, so there's my orbital diagram. Now, I'm going to want you to pause it again and see if you can write the electron configuration out first before I go through it. So pause and do that now. Okay, so we're going to put this into electron configuration. 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p5. Okay, so that's how we bring it down from our arrows. Again, to double check to make sure that we've got the right number of electrons, I'm going to take my 2 plus 2 plus 6 plus 2 plus 5 and make sure that that adds up to our total number, which it does, so we're good to go here. Okay, now for the questions for the video, you'll see that underneath the video there's a form for you to fill out. First of all, it asks for your name and then your email, and then there's a blank that says MC question mark. Okay, so here's our multiple choice question. Okay, which element has the following electron configuration? So we've got 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s1. I want to know if it's A, magnesium, B, sodium, C, calcium, or D, neon. So pause the video and go put your answer in the right spot, and then when you're done, come back and hit play again. Okay, the next question down there says HDYGT question mark. How did you get that? I want you to explain to me how you came about the answer for the previous question. So pause, type it in, and then come back and hit play when you're ready. Okay, next one, free response question. So FR question mark down at the bottom. I want you to tell me how you can check your answer to see if you're right when you're doing electron configuration. We talked about a way that after you write out the electron configuration, you can go back and kind of check yourself. So pause, go down and type the free response, and come back and hit play when you're ready. Okay, W question mark DYSH. What questions do you still have? You'll see that there's one more box down at the bottom there underneath the video, and I want to know what questions do you still have. Okay, anything you're wondering about electron configuration at all, type it in there, because then that's going to help when we get to class tomorrow. We can address some of those right away before we get to practice. Okay, so type any questions you still have, and then make sure you hit submit, and that'll send me all your answers, and we will see you in class tomorrow. Bye.